Everyone, my name is Tarun and I am pursuing undergraduate degree in Srinivasa Ramanujan Institute of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering, second year. So today's my topic regarding the environmental science assignment is effects on the nuclear hazards on the environment. And I would like to mainly stress the point on the environmental degradation at the Mayak Production Association which is happened in Russia. So let us start with the brief introduction. Introduction to the nuclear hazards. We know that the definition of nuclear hazards, the sources like nuclear plants, weapons, radioactive waste materials, and chlorofluorocarbons from refrigerators. Importance of studying impacts is very important in nuclear hazards. Let us go to the types of nuclear hazards. Radiation leaks, radioactive waste disposal, nuclear accidents like Chernobyl, Fukushima, and Mayak, which long-term contamination. So next go to the impact on the environment. How these nuclear hazards impact our environment. They contaminate our soil, which makes the soil infertility and makes the water polluted by radioactive isotopes, air pollution by radioactive particles, harm to the flora and fauna, and which disturbs the ecosystem and the food web. So and we will discuss about the human health impacts by the nuclear disasters like genetic mutations, cancer, and radiation sickness, long-term hereditary effects. So these nuclear hazards will impact our genetics and our future generations, and which leads to the cancer and the long-term diseases, genetic mutations. So so let's now discuss about the case study over Mayak Production Association in Russia, which is the hazardous disaster ever seen by the world, which is located in the southern Urals, Russia, which is built in late 1940 for the plutonium production. Plutonium is the very precious and costliest mineral which is used for the development of the nuclear weapons, one of the first Soviet nuclear facilities. So this disaster happened in 1957, Kashyam disaster, level 6 on INES scale. Explosion of radioactive waste tank. So the radioactive waste tank has been exploded. Contamination of the Teka River and surrounding areas. Due to the explosion of the radioactive waste tank, the surrounding river known as Teka River is contaminated and surrounding areas also. Let us see the environmental impact by the Mayak disaster. Contamination over 20,000 km square area, and more pollutants to spread through soil, water, and the vegetables are damaged. Loss of biodiversity and agriculture. Agriculture has been completely disturbed, and loss of biodiversity like flora, fauna, and soil, water, air gets polluted over 20,000 km square area, which is a huge disaster for the Russia at the time. And it showed a lot of impact on the local communities. Over approximately 10,000 plus residents are relocated to the other parts of the Russia, and long-term radiation exposure. The radiation expands within a short period of time, which shows the long impact on the health crisis in affected populations. So there are many health problems in the affected population in their genetics. So it can't be changed for the longer period of the time. And next one, remediation and cleanup effects. So what are the steps to be taken after this nuclear disaster, and what cleanup efforts should be taken? First, soil removal and containment. So we should remove the affected soil and restricted the access zones. So we should make the red zones at that area. No one should enter into the area due to the high nuclear radiation. Ongoing monitoring and research. We should daily monitoring and update and doing research on the affected areas to know about the current situation of that, and the lessons learned due to the disaster management. Safety protocols are vital. Transparency in reporting, global cooperation on nuclear safety. So we should be very sensitive and very strict in the safety protocols of the environmental are vital, because if the safety measures are not followed, there should be a huge disaster and a huge setback for the future generations. And the global cooperation on the nuclear safety. Everybody should be very strict regarding these nuclear power plant projects, and the permissions can't be done without any proper safety managements. Mapping to the sustainable development goals. So what sustainable development goals we should keep to restrict these damages? SDG 3, good health and well-being. So health is very important rather than the employment. So we should give first priority the good health. And SDG 6, clean water and sanitation is very important. And climate action, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. So these are very important rather than the employment and the richness and the country's GDP. These are very vital, which plays a vital role on the environment and the human's life. Nuclear safety supports environmental protection and human well-beings. Global perspective. Other nuclear incidents worldwide, renewable energy as a safer alternative, international safety regulations. So by this we should mostly depend upon the renewable energy sources like solar energy, wind energy, thermal energy, etc. rather than going on to the nuclear power projects, because this is very sensitive case and it is very highly explosive. The conclusion regarding my topic is nuclear energy is the combination of potential risks. If the nuclear power project is to be set up, it should be done with the maximum efforts and the maximum safety limits, and which is useful for sustainable management, collective responsibility for the environment and the government. So this is regarding my topic. Thank you.